Is the fawning justified, Greg?
The fawning over Drake Maye is justified. What he did from basically the last drive of the first half, the little out throw, getting outside the pocket, low to Demario Douglas. From that point on until the end of the game, Drake Maye played at an elite level. It was incredible. He was a lot better than Josh Allen. He did Josh Allen things. He out Josh Allen. And to me, he was the story of the game. If Drake Maye doesn't play superhuman in that stretch of the game, the Patriots don't win that game. Drake Maye was ridiculous. He made 5 throws that were elite level or plays, basically in the second half. Just ridiculous play. As far as the team, I'm not ready to say that yet. I mean, they're certainly ahead of. We talked about it last week. I thought they were ahead of where I thought they would be last week. This week, even more. It was a great program win. Going to Buffalo and beating that team, that was great. I'm not ready to say as a team that they are in the good category. I mean, they're probably ahead of where I had them at the beginning of the season, which was 9-8. Competing for a playoff spot. Now with the way things are going in the AFC with the Bengals and the Ravens, probably better, and they probably have moved into. Should be favored for a playoff spot at this point. But I thought, to me, the story about Sunday night was Drake Maye elevating to an elite level for that portion of the game.
I was just going to ask you. That was an example of him elevating what was around him.
Yes. I mean, look, Stephon Diggs was great too, probably, on a per-play rate because Stephon Diggs only played 50% of the snaps. It didn't feel like that with his production. Diggs was probably the best player, quote-unquote, in the game. But, for Drake Maye, he elevated. I mean, the stuff that he did, the Daquan Jones play is just ridiculous. That's, 5 or 6 guys in the league can make that kind of play. Some of his accuracy down the field, the throws on the sideline, hanging in the pocket, which he did better in the second half. He was not doing that to start the game as he was a little bit jittery, or I don't know what was going on with him, but he certainly wasn't comfortable. But yes, I thought that this was Drake Maye sort of. Remember, no running game. This team can't leak a drop in the running game consistently. So it's on Drake Maye. And Drake Maye, like I said, was superhuman in the second half the other night. And they don't win a 3-point game like that unless he does that.
So Mike Vrabel's been getting a lot of, billing coming off of that game. You think that's a little overrated?
I don't know. It's hard for me to say. I mean, look, he's the head coach of the team. This team was ready to play. I liked that the attitude that he had all week where he, challenged the guys and said, look, this is a measuring stick game, a gauge game, whatever you want to call it. We're going there. He didn't shy away from it. He hit it straight on. Those guys embraced it. I thought the defensive game plan finally in week 5 was really good. It was sort of the anti-Steelers game plan. They looked at the Bills and said, well, Josh Allen doesn't like to throw deep anymore because he doesn't really have any weapons. So we're going to make them beat us over the top. We're going to take away the run game. We're going to have a plan for Allen's feet and try to hold our own there, which they did. So, that was really good. I thought the defense was back to flying around on defense. This was the fastest that I've seen them play probably since the first preseason game when we were all like, holy crap, look at this. They haven't really played that way. Not sure why. Maybe it's just just getting things down, understanding the system, being able to play faster. The job they did against James Cook was tremendous. But I thought it was, to me, the story of the game was Maye and Diggs. And then the Bills did not play well. They kept shooting themselves in the foot. I mean, if the Patriots had a game, and it's sort of the Steelers game light, but if the Patriots had a home game and they end up by losing by 3, where they have 11 penalties, 8 in the first half, lose the turnover margin, what would we be saying?
Yeah,
the Patriots blew the game.
Well, the Bills had to be complicit for you to win. I mean, you're just not in the same tier right now. So the Bills, that had to be, I think, part of the equation. If the Bills played a clean game. I don't know if you win that.
You didn't have the horse.
And also, if you would have told me before the game that Ed Oliver was going to be inactive and Matt Milano was not going to play in the second half, Milano was really good in the first half and caused the Patriots issues. If you would have told me before the game that those guys weren't going to be there in the second half, then I would have been like, the Patriots are probably going to win this game.
Well, so Mazz mentioned it yesterday, and the more I've thought about it and kind of looked at some of it again, went back and watched some of it, I think Mazz is right. I'm kind of more impressed with the defense overall, meaning the scheme of it. The most impressive player in the game and the key to the game was Drake Maye. But I think, like, as a unit, in terms of game plan, overall approach, front to end, the defense, I think, impressed me more in that maybe more sustainable. Where I think offensively, I just think Maye and Diggs took over. Is kind of what happened. I mean, the scheme that they came out with didn't really work. They were trying to run the ball, and they're trying to do it with, you can tell me, Greg, like heavier personnel, right? Didn't they have multiple tight ends out there, and they tried to get big against the Bills' defense, and they tried to run the ball. It didn't work. I think that the big plays, not all of them, but a lot of the big plays in the second half were Drake Maye flushed out of the pocket, sprinting to the right sideline or making something on his own, him and Diggs coming up with something on their own in the middle of the play. And again, not to take anything, those are great big plays, but I think it was really more about Maye and Diggs. The defense, I think, was about the team, Mazz. I think you were right about that.
Yeah, I just think that they so Greg, I saw you put this in your notes. It felt to me like there was more man-to-man in this game, and I know the numbers don't necessarily suggest it was a majority of the time, but your just interpretation of how they played pass coverage in this game.
Yeah, their man rate was a little bit higher than it has been. You can't go crazy with the man coverage against Josh Allen because he'll just
run.
Turn and run. I will say, to what you're talking about, the offense in the first half, and I do think this goes to, Maye being a little bit uneasy for large stretches of the first half was, they also shot themselves in the foot. I mean, the first drive of the game, Drake Maye takes a sack on third down that he didn't need to take. And I had him for 2 sacks, in the first half. The next drive, Stevenson fumbles after a 7-yard gain. If you're in 2nd and 3, who knows? Maybe, Maye, there's a simple pass, Maye gets settled down. Third drive, Diggs drops a third down where Maye made a great throw to put it on the outside shoulder to keep him away from the linebacker, and, Diggs dropped it. But, you talk about the defense, the flip side of the coin is, what the Bills did. I mean, you look at their possessions. This is the first half. Yards penalized on offense on their drives. -7, -5, -7, -5, -10. Now, some of those the Patriots created, like Christian Barmore, getting held, where he had a really good first half. Some of those are unforced errors, but, the same way that the Patriots could have done more offensively if they didn't make some big errors. It's hard to play offense in this league, even if you have Josh Allen, if, you're going back 5 yards every single drive. And so those things caught up to the Bills. When those things settled down for both offenses, the game that I thought we were going to get, back and forth, duel between Josh Allen and Drake Maye, that's what we got in the second half.
Did they blitz much, the Patriots?
No. Okay.
I had them for... It didn't feel like it, Greg. That's why I asked.
Yeah, both teams blitz. I had it for 1 in the first half. The Bills went... They had 7 blitzes in the second half, including 5 on consecutive plays, where the Patriots ended up scoring a touchdown. The Patriots blitzed 4 times in the second half.
How disruptive were Barmore and Williams, though? Because there was times, especially in the second half, where Josh Allen, to me, was running immediately after the ball was snapped for, no reason. So was that because they were getting such a push, or...
So I would say Christian Barmore was very effective in the first half. He did have 2 pressures in the second half. The other part of this game was Josh Allen did not play well. He was like those 2 plays at the end of the game where, he throws deep out of the end zone to Keon Coleman, and then the Shakir pass where, let's face it, Gonzalez was a little bit early. Even he thought he was early. He was looking for a flag, but whatever.
That could have been a PI?
It could have been a PI. Yeah, he was early. But no, I'm fine with them not throwing it. But on the first pass, and I found myself saying this a few times during the game, which surprised me, was so you could tell they were going to have nothing down the field immediately. He has James Cook against one of the Patriots linebackers. Just dump it down and get into third and manageable. And I was saying at times in this game, Josh Allen is playing too much like Cowboy Josh Allen. If he played more like Drake May, they would be in better shape. Just take the check down. Then on the Shakir play, Keon Coleman was wide open in the end zone almost the entire play. They were in a zone. Gonzalez was playing more the underneath route. Because Josh Allen just leaves the pocket for no reason. He can't see it. So Josh Allen did not play well in this game. And, some of it was the Patriots, but I think a lot of it was just, they didn't have the running game going. They shut down the run game. And then Josh Allen was just like, I'm going to cowboy up and I'm going to do my thing. And it was to the team's detriment this week.